Hey guys, I wanted to share with you this cute little card and show you how to make it. I made a card like this many years ago, and then the last few weeks I've seen some demonstrators who are making them again, and I was like, I'm gonna try it again, and I've got another one to show you, but this is the one we're gonna make. It's called what I think it's called the Cascading Pleats. If you look up cascading cards, you can see all different kinds. This one, that's why I'm adding pleats to it, because there's cascading where it's all different and stuff, but this is, to me, cascading pleats. So here we go. There's the second, and then there's the third. And as you can see, it stands up like that. It's all one piece. So these are really cool, and they're pretty easy to make. I'm going to show you how to the measurements, the scoring, and everything, and then I've got all the stuff to put inside the card, but I've got all that already taken care of because y'all don't need to see me, coloring everything. But okay, so we'll get started with the base, and then and I have a PDF that you can access to that has all the measurements on it. Okay, so what I got here is, this is the thick basic white. I wanted it to be a little more sturdy. Obviously when you stand this up, I liked it to be sturdier. So this is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna score it. First, we're gonna put it in there long ways. And let me zoom in a little so you can see a little better. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna score at 5 1/2, 6 1/2, 7 1/2, and then 8 1/2. Go over them again. You don't want to crease these yet because we're gonna turn it around. So there we go. There's our score lines there. Then we're gonna flip it this way, and we're gonna score it at, let's see, we're gonna score it at 3/4 right here, down to 3. So the third score line. So 3/4 to 3, then 1 1/2 to 1. So 1 1/2 to 1. So that first score line. Okay, hopefully you can see those like that. All right. Done with the scoring tool. Now we're gonna cut it. Okay, so now we're gonna cut it. And what I like to do is what I do is I cut outside of the score line, not right down the score line, just right outside of it so that it gets cut off. So here we are, we're at the 1 1/2 inch, and we're gonna cut it to 1. Okay, and then we're gonna cut diagonally this way to 2. Okay, so we got that. It's like we're making stairs. Then we're gonna cut up. Here comes my dog. He's not a puppy anymore, but sort of still is. Okay, so, and then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut diagonally to the last score line. There you go, there's your stairs. Cascading, so I got several of them here of other ones I've done. Sometimes I like to just keep one so that if when I'm doing it and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, am I doing this right? I do have a PDF for you guys that has all the measurements and everything on there. So, and it'll have a little QR code there if you want to see this video again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna score these. I gotta look at this one, make sure I'm doing it right. So goes down, right. So this is, because it's going to look this way. So this goes down. And this goes up. And this goes down. Mountains and valleys. Down, up, down, down. Okay. Okay, so you got it down like that. See how it sits like that? There you go. All right, so then now we're just gonna add all the different layers and stuff. What's nice about this, because again, this is 4.5 by 9.5. So with one piece of cardstock, you could get 2 of these. You could get 2 of the bases. Then you're gonna have other pieces that go on there. So that's not gonna come out of that, but at least for the bases, you could get 2 out of a piece of cardstock. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do now, is we're gonna start assembling it all. It's pretty easy once you start doing it and you remember. See, it looks like an M. Once you start doing it, it's pretty easy. Okay. So what you want is you want to add some panels. Obviously, you have a panel back here. You can add another piece of cardstock or designer series paper, whatever you want to do on that one. I'm going to use designer series paper, but you want panels on this one so that it's obviously you know, if you just had left this alone, it wouldn't really make sense, if you see what I mean. Okay, so for the panels, what you want is for the front, you want it 2 3/4 by 4 inches, like that. And for the middle one, 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, so we're gonna decorate these and everything but see, like that. All right, so we are gonna do a couple of things. What I'm using obviously here is the Nature's Sweetness suite. The stamps, the dies, the paper and everything, that's in the mini catalog. There you go. It is really so pretty. I have a PDF for this suite. I'll show you those cards at the end of the video. But we're using the designer series paper. We're using both stamp sets and dies on this. Okay. So for the middle one, I got boho blue here, and I'm just gonna color it a little. All right, so just a little bit of color just to give it, so it's not so white, because I'm not putting any paper on this one. I'm just doing that. Okay, I'm just gonna clean this off so I don't get that ink on my other pieces. Okay, so then we're gonna stamp a couple of the things. Sorry, that's loud. You can see, here's Lovely and Sweet. This is what's on the back, and that's on the front, and that's in the middle. And then Today Is All About You, Happy Birthday, that's from this one. And there's one of these on there, and one of those, and we're using these 2 right now on this middle piece. So lots of stamps, and obviously they're part of the same suite and they work together really good. All right. All right. Just want to make sure I'm getting it. There we go. There's that one. And then this one, just to give it, let's see, which way did I do it? I did it this way. Oh, that's crooked. Oh my goodness. Look at that, it's crooked. All right. We're gonna do this. Oh, I can't even do it on the other side. All right, well, we're just gonna keep it crooked. How about that? I mean, it's not the worst thing. All right, so here's all my pieces here. This is all the designer series paper. Pretty much everything on here is the designer series paper, and I'm gonna show you why. Okay, so this is one of the pieces from the designer series paper, and you can see all of these, they coordinate with die cuts in both of them. This big one right here die cuts this cuts this one cuts this, and then for this one there's leaves that this cuts, this right here cuts that. So this is the one sheet I haven't cut up, but the other one I have cut up more than half of it, and I have made many cards. And it's cool because it's gold and it's easy, so it's easy to color with the blends. For the blends, I use boho blue, old olive, pecan pie, and petal pink. But we're not, like I said, we're not doing that because I already did all that. So I don't know. I mean, I still think that looks okay. I mean, what do you guys think? I should have paid more attention, but that's okay. And then there's also one of these on there. I don't know. Yeah, I still think it looks okay. So, all right, we're gonna keep that. See, isn't that pretty with the gold around it? That's pecan pie, old olive, boho blue, boho blue. And then this one. All right, so there's our middle piece. And then for our back, this part, what I did was I cut a piece of cardstock. Let's see, or I'm sorry, designer series paper. It's 5 1/4 by 4. And I did the top, die cut the top with this from the Notes of Nature dies. I love those. I love anything that does that. We've had so many things that has stuff like that. I love it. It's like notebook paper. Okay, so on this one, we've got that one. And then this is postage notes dies. I haven't die cut one of those yet, but just gives you somewhere to write on. Although I think with these cards, you could write on the backs of these too, if you wanted to. But I wanted to, because it'd be hard to write on this, obviously. Oh man, that's pretty. You could, if you could also stamp these, because obviously there's stamps that is this. You could stamp it with Versamark, emboss with gold embossing powder, and then have the same thing. It's just really nice. They've been like this for a while, where they have paper that coordinates with stamps and dies that you can die cut a bunch of it. And I love that because it makes it a little easier. Okay, let me go die cut one of those, and so we can finish that portion of the card. Okay, so here's that. This is the postage dies right here. Really cute. All right. And then this little one, which I did with Petal Pink and Boho Blue. All right, so there's our back one. Here's our middle one. And now we just got to do the front, and then we just got to start gluing everything down. All right. So I already colored that. Pecan pie, boho, petal. I have cards that I have stamped them and then die cut them. But I just think it's really nice to have paper, especially since it's gold like that. Very nice. And I already stamped the sentiment. That's with boho blue on basic white, and then I used the stylish shapes to die cut it. So lots of different dies on this, but okay. All right, so here is, where's my little papers? They gotta be, oh, here they are. So this one goes on here. This is our front. So on the instructions I have for this, I just have these. These are just the layers that go on the pleats. So you, like I did with the middle one, that's all I have. I don't have any designer series paper or anything, but I don't, oh, look at that. I just laid a piece of cardstock in opening. This is why you're supposed to close it after you use it. Even if you know, if you could do directly like I did on the middle one, or you could cut the designer series paper however you want it to look. You could, this one could be bigger. This is, let's see, what is the name? This is 2 3/4 by 4. This is probably 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So you get a bigger border on it, but you could do it different sizes, or, you know, however you want it to look. Okay, so here's all our pieces. This one just goes on the back. Oh, put some up here too. Okay, there's our back. Now for this part, I'm going to use the Stamp and Seal, but you could use this. The card that I made, I actually just made it this morning. I did it with the Tombow, but you just want something sturdy. So there we got that one. And then this one for the top. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, you want it on the top. Okay, so we got that. Put some adhesive on there. Look at that. Isn't that cool? All right. So there's that card. Really pretty. Would be such a pretty birthday card for somebody. And, but here's one that I made this morning. This is with the Excellent Eggs. Okay, so there's that. Like that. Isn't that cute? I love those little bunnies. I put one on every page. And I use the same postage stamp thing on this. So I'll share this in a couple of days and give you all the products to use and everything. But there you go. There's a Cascading Pleats card. 4.5 by 9.5, scored at 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5. Flip it, rotate it, scored at 3/4 to 3 inches, 1.5 to 1 inches, and then cut. I worked hard on the instructions to show you what to do, and I think it's easy to understand, so hopefully it will be for everybody. If you got any questions, you can let me know. All right, so the notes of nature, nature sweetness, lovely and sweet. Okay, so I have several cards that I have not even shared yet. I shared one yesterday, but that was my first one sharing, but I've got others. But these are the ones that I have a PDF tutorial for. Okay, so my tutorials are always 4 cards. They have pictures, measurements, all supplies used, and step-by-step instructions. Okay, so this one is for the nature sweetness. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, so I'll have a link to those with on the post that has this video and has this card. I just think this is really cool. I love it, and it's really easy. Once you start making it, and hopefully my instructions, you know, not just the video, but hopefully the instructions that you can print will make it easy for you. Once you do 1 or 2, you kind of remember it all. If you got any questions, let me know. I hope everyone's having a great day. See ya.